¿Qué hola mi gente? Bienvenidos a otro episodio de No Pasa Nada Podcast con su compa Lalen y ya se la saben. Another blue episode. I told you guys I was going to be pumping these out like crazy. I took a break. I know I say this on every episode that I've been releasing now. Pero we're back. You guys voted it, so we're back and we're coming out with some pinche fuego para que se emocionen. Look, if you haven't got your popcorn or you got, una sopita de maruchan, vayan y prepárensela. Pause right now. Vayan, agarren sus snacks y cáiganle para atrás porque se va a poner bueno el show. Who are we here with today?
You got the whitest dude you ever had on this podcast, probably, dude. I'm fucking glistening looking in this thing. I was just looking at myself in the blue light, like I'm thinking I might get a tan in here or something. My name is Chandler, Jordana, como quieran. I do stand-up, mostly in Mexico, but I do some stuff in the U.S. as well. I'm doing like the Uno reverse, because I'm from here, but I live in Mexico now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just doing things a little different, I guess.
So, okay. Comediante, mi gente. Look, we've been trying to make this work because you actually just came out here to visit.
Yeah.
So you came out here to visit porque te llamas el hijo de Utah, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, I thought you were from Utah, and then you're like, no, estoy en Mexico. And then I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I'm confused. I'm like, where you at? Where you at?
Yeah, I'm from here, but I'm actually from Ogden. Represent, okay. Dude, Ogden.
Hey, ya tú sabes.
O-Town, where you all at? Yeah, I'm from up there, but I haven't lived here. Let's see, I left in 2018.
Okay.
So it's been a minute, but yeah, I grew up here, so yeah.
But, y México, ¿por qué México? ¿Por qué para atrás? Normally I'd be asking why Utah, but it's like, why Mexico?
Para atrás. Well, long story short, I was living in LA and I was still like starting a stand-up. And then I always like to travel. So I was like, there's another country like 2 hours away. So I went and checked it out. I met somebody when COVID hit. She was like, well, if you can like work from there, maybe you can just work from down here. I got a little place on the beach, and I've kind of just been there ever since. I'm actually becoming a citizen this year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Never would have thought that, huh?
Yeah, dude. I said, I'm always like, I'm doing the reverse track, dude. I'm born here, go to Mexico. I was like, the last thing, I just got to move to Venezuela, dude, to do the full route, the full way.
It's like, let me get the full benefits. Yeah. I'm just kidding. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. That's awesome, though. So so you met somebody, because I have somebody like that I know that kind of did the same thing, but with Colombia. Okay. Went out there to visit. Sure. Fell in love. Mm-hmm. Lives there now. Mm-hmm. Bien güero el güey, like bien white. Pero tú eres mexicano?
No. I'm white. My dad is from the Philippines, actually. My dad was born and raised in the Philippines. I know, I'm confused as well, dude. I don't know. People always ask, like, where are you from? I'm just like, I don't know, man. I just live here. And wherever I'm at, I just live here, you know?
Timon.
I just try to tell them. But no, my dad was born and raised in the Philippines. My grandmother was half Spanish, half Filipina. So she colonized herself, I like to say. And then my grandfather worked for the Spanish embassy in Manila. So I grew up hearing Spanish a lot, but it never was taught to me. But I felt like I could, like, pick up on it because it was like in the back of my mind. It was just something I had to like pull forward. Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
But like, I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, that's how I've lived my whole life. So welcome. I've always been confused. Yeah, that's why.
Like you just look like, okay, part of me wants to say, okay, he's white. But then the other part's like, maybe he's like, because where we're from in Chihuahua, there's a lot of white.
Yeah, where did that show, man?
Yeah, so I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I'm like fucking thrown off. Now we got a whole nother ethnicity in there.
Yeah, in Tijuana they used to say I was from El Lago Salado de Sinaloa.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, dude, where did that show? I call myself off-white.
Oh, okay. That's fucking cool, bro.
Even though with this light, dude, I am glistening. I feel like. Look how white I look in that. It's crazy.
I need
to get some tan, dude.
Chill, let me turn down
support the podcast. Give me some tanning lotion. Yes.
Hey, we need to give him some better lighting. Maybe that goes into like more of a warm tone.
I feel like I'm Joseph Smith getting inspired, dude. Look, I'm looking up at this. Something's happening. I don't know. It's the air
so tell me a little bit about living in Mexico, bro.
I love it, man. I love it. It's a very interesting. Because I get it. Because I know that there's actually the way that I have seen like just the sentiment about Americans coming and living there, like from when I first moved there till now. Because I still come up to I travel a lot, both for my like real job and for stand up. So I have all the hacks about like how you can do shit like cheaply and whatever. But I feel like when I first moved down there was like a lot more positive sentiment towards Americans than there is now. And I get it. I totally get it. Like, it's like all the gentrification stuff and people, because I get pissed off at other Americans too, dude. Like, I'm in their like Facebook groups and stuff. People are saying the dumbest shit ever, dude. Like, they just go there and they don't know anything. They don't speak any Spanish. They don't like, I don't know. They literally just go there because it's cheaper. And I would get upset about that as well too. You know, like, I understand that it's like this, it's kind of ironic, right? But that's kind of like, that's what I love it down there. It's just different. There's more. I feel like a lot of like Mexican Americans get this. You don't really get that sense of community that you have there, like up here, right? It's just different. Yeah. It's everybody for themselves. It's very individualistic. It's very like figure it out on your own type thing. And I think I also grew up though, like already feeling like I didn't fit in a little bit. Like my dad passed that to me as well because he's grown up in the Philippines as somebody that doesn't look Filipino, right? Even though he spoke that language, grew up there, whatever. So it's kind of like you learn to kind of just chameleon wherever you're at, you know, like kind of like figure out how to fit in and whatnot. But I love it. Yeah. I mean, I understand that I'm able to have some privileges there that not everybody has, you know, like it's safer for me than it is for a Mexican down there, for example, right? Because all the things that happen down there, like if there's a foreigner, like the embassy gets involved and you know what I mean? But it's just like, so it's, I don't know. I totally understand that like, I have some privileges down there that folks don't always have, but personally, I love it. And I do my best to like, I don't know, I don't hang out with other Americans down there and stuff. Like most of my friends are from there and everything. So yeah, man, it's good. It's where I really started doing more stand up too. Like it's where I started here, but I was terrible when I was here too. Like I was not good. I was no good. And then I have more Spanish material than English, which is weird, right? But yeah, that's just been my reality. So.
Es más desmadroso Mexico. So Mexico's like, there's a lot like albur. There's like a lot of flavor to it. And I think people are willing to crack a smile. Like, Mexico's un desmadre, güey.
People are willing to laugh at themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're willing to not take it to heart.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I feel like we're raised on so much like
bullying.
Fun. Yeah. Oh, bro. My whole fucking life. That's why like now when I see somebody get upset, I'm like, you've spent too much time here.
Yeah.
You know? You need to go to Mexico for a year. Yeah, no, I love Mexico, bro. Like I've been telling this on the podcast a lot. Is a lot of people, you know, maybe haven't gone to Mexico, or it could be, you know, somewhere else. Porque it's really nice to open your eyes and really realize that there's more than the U.S.
Oh yeah,
the U.S. is we're just kind of providing. When there's no sense of like enjoying yourself until the weekends. I feel like Mexico, you can enjoy every single day.
Yeah.
Because you're living by day, not by month.
Mm-hmm. Somebody told me once, what was it? Aquí trabajamos para vivir, allá viven para trabajar.
Yeah.
That was to me, and it was like, because I was talking to somebody, and they were like, everything is more beautiful there, like more like aesthetically kept, whatever. But also Mexico, just the way, and I feel like this just is like a metaphor for the place as well. Because you go to places, and it's not like as well kept, right? Like the roads are all, you know, like whatever, like on the outside, but I've been to so many people's houses that from like the outside it doesn't look that nice, but then on the inside it's super nice. And that's just kind of more about, I think that like is a little bit of a microcosm of like culturally what it's like. It's like the outside doesn't matter to us as much, you know, like just in general, I think maybe. So.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I have tias down there that have beautiful homes. Like I was explaining to my girlfriend that I have a tia that like her house from the outside, like you said, it kind of looks like a prison, but on the inside, bro, like it's got like little tiny homes. Like my tío lives there, la prima y sus hijos viven acá. It's like a little compound.
Yeah.
But from the outside, it looks ugly. It looks like a fucking prison.
Yeah.
You know, but the culture down there, bro, because I lived there for almost 2 years.
Okay, what part?
Down in Parral, Chihuahua.
Okay.
So where they killed Pancho Villa.
Okay.
Literally in the town they killed him. That's where
you were there when it happened, huh?
No, hey, I missed it. I was blinking my eyes when it happened. I was just kidding.
This is why he's here. He's a refugee. He killed Pancho Villa that day so he could just come up.
I was like, so long. Pero no, Parral, Chihuahua, beautiful place, bro. If you ever get a chance, you know, go down there. There's a lot of history there. It's not aesthetically the prettiest. You know, I will tell people it's the desert. Chihuahua's mostly desert. Mm-hmm. Pero we spent 2 years there. We got to go to school, everything. And we learned a lot about our culture, and that's why we're a lot more thankful about it. Porque there's a lot of little things that we take for granted here. Mm-hmm. You know, fucking everything here is just... Life is good here, guys. Mexico está cabrón.
Yeah.
You're gonna really fucking make it. Like, there ain't no fucking rich or poor. Like, it's either you're poor or you're. I mean, there's no middle class.
It's growing though. I feel like
Yeah.
it's growing. Like the minimum wage has come up.
Yeah.
Like the middle class is great. It's still not like what it is here.
Yeah.
But it is. I feel like it's growing, and that's something else that people don't realize too. That if you grew up in the U.S., you're always taught this like greatest country in the world. This whole like rah patriotism narrative, right? And it's like, and then you think that, like, I don't know, you see it right now politically. I don't want, probably not a political show, so I won't go there. But just this kind of like, everybody's trying to come here. And it's like, everybody's trying to come here because everybody needs money. Like, that's
it's at the end of the day, it's the money,
it's like,
bro.
Yeah, I mean, because you need money to live. Like, I guarantee, if you take a poll of all the immigrants that are in this country and you're like, if I can give you two options. Option one is you stay here and you live here with the salary that you make. Or option two is you go back to where you're from, but you're still making the same salary. 90-something% of people are going to leave. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Either they don't realize or they're like, they don't want to see it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, the majority of people, it's a running joke with our people is they say they're coming here for a year.
Oh,
Because they think in a year they're going to like build everything back in Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's that they don't realize that in a year you're barely like getting settled in.
Yeah.
And then like year 3 is when you're really kind of seeing. But then as you live here, you also want to live comfortable. So then you upgrade to a bigger house, bigger car.
Yeah.
So then it's like pretty soon you're just living here now.
And you're just endeudado and you're just
Yeah, ni valió verga. My mom's really smart, but at the same time, she just lost so much time, you could say.
Okay.
Like, she came here with all intentions of giving us a better life, but she has built her house. She has built, her savings. Yeah, she has a house down there and everything. Pero, like, I mean, when are you going to enjoy it if you're just keep working for something?
Yeah, exactly.
My mom just keeps working, and she eventually says she's going to go, but I doubt it. A lot of people, I doubt when they leave. And then most of them leave and they come back.
Yeah, and you also, I don't know, I studied, like, international relations in school, and I'm always fascinated by, like, migration and just because, the whole ni de aquí ni de allá type thing. It's like, you don't, and I get that, because you don't really feel like you 100% fit in anywhere, right?
Yeah,
One of my favorite professors in school was from France. And he told me, he's like, here, everybody knows me as this, like, French guy. I have this accent, whatever. He's like, I go back to France, and they're like, you're American. Like, you haven't lived here for 20 years. Like, what are you? You know what I mean? So but that's one thing I love particularly about Tijuana, I know it, like, everybody, like, it has, tiene muy mala fama, no? And but it's just one of those places where it's like, everybody can live here because it's just this crossroads of, like, life. And so everybody... it's just a place I've been fortunate to travel a lot in my life, and there's very few places like it, to be honest. So
I think a lot of people have a misconception of Mexico. They think that maybe Tijuana's so dangerous and everything. I mean, it's got its areas, but at the end of the day, it's a beautiful place, bro. Like Rosarito and everything. Like, it's beautiful. Yeah. Tijuana tiene like a lot of like. It's just that. I tell people, I'm like, when you go to Mexico, you're going to see a lot of culture. There's a lot of culture. There's stores in every fucking corner. There's people talking outside. There's a lot of commotion happening. But it's because it's the culture. Uh-huh. Here, it's like, you see a street vendor and it's like, whoa, weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, it's not very common to see a paletero, man, an elotero, el gas, everything. But Mexico's different. It's a different...
Even Salt Lake's grown a little bit since I don't know. I went downtown.
How long have you? Has it been? That
I left in 2018. Man, so I haven't
you haven't been
7
back?
years. No, I've been back. I've been back, but like I'll come maybe like once or twice a year usually just to visit.
I was like damn, I haven't been here in that long.
Yeah, most of my friends still live here, but like my parents left. So I don't have any family here.
Did you see that we have Teslas now? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You guys got a lot of electricity now. It wasn't like that. I used to have to tie my horse up down at anybody that's been to Ogden, dude, we just got cars like a couple years ago.
Oh, fuck. No way, pero okay, I'm just fascinated with you going to Mexico, bro, because it's like my dream is to one day hopefully go, bro. And, like I was telling Teresa that I would love to go spend our winters there. Okay. And then spend our summers here. Okay. So I want to work around that to get where I can afford to do that. So right now, my goal has been this year is fincar something small in Parral. A small little, something small and just kind of fincarlo slowly. Okay. And then try it out maybe this winter or maybe next winter. Okay. And to just go, because I want my kids to kind of see the culture. Sure, and get inside. Pero okay, so Utah, bro. So you're in town. What do you normally do when you come into Utah?
I'm just hanging out with my friends, dude. People I haven't seen in a while. every once, like here and there, I'll be like on a board of some nonprofit, or I have like random little side quests like this that I'm doing, but for the most part, I'm just hanging out with people I haven't seen. Like, yeah, I mean, these are people I grew up with are still here, you know, so I like, it's good to hang out with them and see them. I haven't actually checked out the comedy scene here in a while. I plan to hit up a few open mics while I'm here just to see, but I'm sure it's totally different. I probably don't know anybody anymore. But yeah, just kind of taking it all in, I guess, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. And then going back to Mexico, it's just you and the wifey?
It's just, I live by myself. I got a girlfriend down there, but
okay.
I just like, I don't know. I've kind of always just done things a little different, I guess, you know. I go to my like real job. I actually work with undocumented people in the U.S. So I work in we provide like legal services. I'm not an attorney. I do like the fundraising and stuff. I've kind of always worked in nonprofits, and that's in like the Bay Area. So that's why I have all these like, I get all these like $15, $20 flights. I have all these mileage. You know, I like figured out all the ways to like travel as cheap as possible. So yeah, I'm in TJ in between like the Bay Area. I go to Mexico City a lot as well for like comedy and stuff. So
damn, bro. Yeah. Where would you say that it's bigger? Is it comedy down there or in here in the U.S.?
I mean, I feel like Mexico is at this like kind of interesting moment for like just culturally in general. I think that like economically, I think that even with like, I don't know, people feel different ways about the new president and stuff, but just the fact that they were able to now have like a different political party and a different system, and it's growing so much and people are moving down. I feel like Mexico is at this moment. And also if you go around Latin America, because I've done stand up in Peru and Colombia, and like if you go to places like Mexico is, I think there's 3 places for like stand up in Spanish. Well, if you want to count like Madrid, I guess. So there's like Madrid, Buenos Aires, Bogota, and Mexico City. And Mexico City is like, it's like the LA of, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows the comedians from there. Everybody watches those comedians. And it's like, but it's still, I don't know. I feel like their references for comedy is still like Polo Polo, like old school stuff. Like they're like Bill Cosby and stuff, right? Yeah. Like stand up as we know it is like 10, 15 years old. So I just feel like I have more of an opportunity there. It's interesting because people are, you're like almost criticized more for being American, but you're also listened to more. So it's like, here's what the situation, here's the cards you're dealt. How are you going to handle this? You know, how are you going to deal with it? And I'm still navigating that. Like I have some weird moments too. Like I was flying the other day and the people were like, you're that guy from those videos, right? And like, so, which I'm just like, people will like ask to take photos of me and stuff sometimes. And I'm like, I'm not anybody, dude. I'm just a normal guy, right? Like, so it's interesting that ride because I'll have that moment. And then I'll have another moment while doing open mic and I'll just bomb the shit out of it, dude. And I'm like walking down like, man, should I even be doing this? Like, should I just quit? You know, but that's the ride of being an artist, man. That's what I was going to say, bro. That's what it's about.
That was my second question is you get on the mic and you got to go up there. It's not easy to get like engaged with the crowd, bro. And especially in comedy, I couldn't imagine doing that, bro. I wouldn't know what to say. Yeah. What the fuck?
I've always said that because I don't know. I feel like stand-up comedians, like we have this almost like try to be like, oh, it's such this like, you know, like it takes this special. I always say anybody can do it. Honestly, anybody can do it. You just have to be ready to traer mucha mierda. Honestly, like because it's just eating a lot of shit, dude. Like I have stories about horrible shows, about times driving home, being like, I should just not do this. Like I'm not cut out for this. But that's where you learn. That's where you grow the most because if you have these good shows and if you have your ego like super high and you're like, I got to figure it out. So you muy chingón and everything. That's when the next show it's just like because people I don't know it's like it's every crowd is a different energy.
Yeah.
And the same joke that worked here tanks here, and you gotta figure out how to do that. How are you gonna wrestle with that? You know. Like,
yeah. Because it's happened to like even us like normal people you know that we're not comedians where like you make a joke in the group of friends and no one laughs and you're just like what the fuck.
I like
that's awkward.
I like that you made that distinction because every time I'm always like, do we have any normal people in here or is it comedians? Because comedians are weird, dude. I'm telling you, it's weird people. So anytime I'm at like an open mic or something, I'm like, raise your hand if you're not a comedian, if you're just like a normal people, because making other comedians laugh, it's like I don't know, because we've all heard each other's jokes.
Yeah,
like,
so
I don't care what you think. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? It's like what is like the actual people like? What do you guys like?
I just like to have fun, bro. Like I haven't been huge on like stand up until like recently.
Okay.
that I've been watching a lot of it, like, because of TikTok. TikTok is just really good platform.
Changed everything, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, so I see a lot of funny shit, bro, that I'm just like, bro, this would be so much fun. Because, I love to laugh.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't take shit like
who literally is just like, I hate laughing.
Bro,
like,
I fucking
not anybody you want to hang out with, right?
Bro. Like, I would love to go to, like, a show and just sit there with a drink and just laugh, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'd love that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the greatest thing ever, bro. Like, I think, everybody deserves to take a joke or something like that. Like, even, like, when I see, like, I think it's Morgan J?
Jay Morgan, yeah.
Jay Morgan.
The guy that's singing, right?
Yeah. He's fucking
What's
funny.
What's your name, bro? Yeah.
That shit's fucking funny. Yeah. And then I was thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, imagine he comes up to you and you have to do that. I'm like, fuck, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, hey, yeah.
But if you go into a show, like, you know what you're going for.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean?
Even if you sit in the very back, you're like, fuck, he's coming this way.
And I don't know, this is maybe just me. I'm like a little bit of a masochist, but like, I usually try to talk to the people that have on their face, like, please don't talk to me. Because that's the funniest interactions. Yeah. Because you have those other people that are like the pick me people, like,
they're like, hey,
row, like, hey, ask me about my job. Like, ask me what I do. You know what I mean? Like I had this Canadian dude in this show once, and he was drinking, and he was just unruly. And everything, I was like, okay, you're just too excited. I don't want to talk to this guy anymore because he's like, he wants to be here. He wants it too much. Like, just get on stage.
Like, next, bro.
Like, yeah. I think it's more because that's when you get like the funny interactions is when you get. I feel like I've had some writer's block recently, so I've just been going to open mics and just trying to talk to people because that's also part of it. Like, it's just your stage presence. Like I just study other people too because I feel like I have a weird sense of humor because like I always will notice I'm laughing at moments when other people aren't laughing. So it's like, okay, like is there some, and a lot of it for me in Mexico was just getting I moved there, I already spoke Spanish. Okay. I remember going to my first open mics, I was like, I don't know what the hell these people are saying, dude, because it's so much slang, it's so much albur, it's so much like. And I literally would just have friends that I'd be like, okay, what does this mean? Okay, what is this? And then even now, I mean, I've been down there. There's probably 5 to 10% that'll still go over my head. Like, just because it's like regional stuff. Even like going from city to city, like you have to like change the jokes and stuff. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's just that's also why it's kind of addictive though. I think because it's just like it's this constant. You're like a dog chasing your tail a little bit. You like never quite get there. You know what I mean?
So I've. Thankfully, because of my parents, that those 2 years that I went down to Mexico and I was in 8th grade. So I was 8th grade, 9th grade.
This is a pretty like formative age, like impressionable age.
So like, bro, so much alburear, like class would like, dude, nothing would miss these motherfuckers. Like they watch you, like they study you as you walk in and they're just picking at you. And then they just start going off. So, like, I started doing that a lot. Like, on the podcast, we alburear sometimes. Like, we have a couple laughs with the guests. And then you could tell the ones that don't know. And they're just like my cousin used to be my co-host.
You're talking about, like, finca or something? And this
and then we'd, like, Spanish, and then he'd be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, bro, like, do you not know? Like, nothing clicked there? And he's like, I don't know what that was. And I'm like, never mind.
You're working with the no sabo.
No sabo. He's just like, no mames. And then, like, but no, I love it. It's just sometimes, like, I'm telling you, like, how you said, there's certain races, because even me being in construction, bro, you get somebody from Puebla, you get somebody from NDF, you get somebody from Sinaloa. They all do it differently. So sometimes they throw something at you that you're just like, you got me. I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. Yeah. Just tear me apart.
That's the other thing too. In like, I feel like in the general like U.S., people like really generalize Mexico. It's just like it's Mexico. It's one place. As if it was like
you're right.
But it's like the same. It's like I'm from the U.S. Like if I'm from Alabama and if I'm from New York, that's a different country, dude. Like there's literally. So like a country and you're like, there's going to be more similarities between somebody from Italy and Spain than somebody from Alabama and New York.
The only thing that is weird is like, and I thought about this the other day. I'm like, why is it that like a guy from New York kind of looks like the same as a guy in Texas? It's just their accent, right? Okay. But then you take somebody from Chihuahua and you look at somebody from Guerrero.
Oh yeah.
And like they look totally different. But it's like, why? Like, is it just like I don't know. Like, I don't understand that.
I had this interesting experience because, I mean, most people, if you grow up in kind of like the Western United States, especially like I grew up playing soccer, like you're familiar with Mexican culture to an extent, right? You're playing with Mexicans, you whatever, like you have some degree of familiarity. But then going to Mexico, it's totally different. Oh, yeah. Because also something else that I heard somebody talk about that's interesting is like whatever year you left a place, it's frozen in your mind, right? So like all your, like say you've been here for 15 years, everything that you think of in Mexico is 2010 Mexico. And it's like you go there and it's because we're in constant evolution, like as a species, as people, like whatever. So it's just, it's not like it's not static, right? And so also like so many people that come up here from like rural areas, right? Like at Rancho, whatever. Yeah,
I'm glad that you say that, bro.
Yeah. And so that's because you think like I would say the general American person is like Mexico is like because it's like, oh, my neighbor. And that's their reference, or like this dude that I go to church with, or whatever. And they think that the whole country's like that. Yeah,
exactly. Like everybody's a landscaper. Everybody does construction, and everybody's just like didn't finish high school, and they're just like,
which is like no disrespect to those people. Yeah. They work 3 times harder than I do. Absolutely.
But like so, we're in the DF. We're on our way to Cancun. Me and my girl, and my girl's Chicana, so she like doesn't understand Mexico. So then we're at the DF, and there's important people there. You can tell estudiados, suits, talking very like they're just very smart. And Teresa's like, I wonder where they're from, and I'm like, they're from here. And then she's like there's people like, I'm like, Teresa, there's like, I hate to say it, but the dumb ones are the ones that travel. The ones that are smart, that went to school, that have money, are here. They're not gonna leave.
If you're doing fine where you're at, you have no reason to move.
Yeah, because yo tengo tíos que son profesores, son ingenieros, son or they run like businesses that they don't have no point to leave. Yeah, and they have money and they live good lives and they travel and they go to Yankee games and Dodger games and they travel here on vacation. But then I have a bunch of tíos that just valen verga. They're trying to find their place.
Saludos a los
tíos. Saludos a ustedes. Hey, my dad, I love you to death. You're a hardworking man, pero ¿por qué no pudiste ser un abogado? Algo chingón. Fuck, man.
He's poor shaming you right now.
No, fucking hey. You're the stereotype, El Juan. El Juan, nothing. But no, there's a lot of and that's another thing that people don't realize until they go to Mexico. There's a lot of money in Mexico.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money down there. There's still like, people think that everybody's driving like old ass beat up cars.
And generally speaking, this is a big ass generalization, but people in the U.S. are ignorant, dude. Like just in general, like our education system, like we're just not taught about the rest of the world in ways that other people are taught, because we think this is the world.
My father-in-law was asking me, he's like, so how do people get cars down there? And I'm like,
okay, they tie their horse up in the thing, and then they have to exchange it.
Like, there's this thing called bancos where you go and apply. Oh, similar to your credit union, like that. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like there's credit, there's everything, there's this is a whole fucking, I don't know, there's a whole economy.
Although going to a bank in Mexico is frustrating as hell, dude. Going by Norte, you got to be like there for like 3-4 hours. I was like, I'm just trying to get a debit card, bro. Like,
dude, what's really, really cool for like somebody that's never gone to Mexico is like with the exchange rate. Is like you go and exchange like $100 and you like 2,000 pesos back and you're like, holy fuck, I'm rich.
I love how I totally get why people get taken advantage of, dude. I was like, I would do it too, man. Just like, I don't know how much this is. And it's like, this is a lot. I'm gonna charge you whatever. I mean, like.
But like, okay, cost of living. Talk to me a little bit about that, because I've been out of Mexico. Okay. Like I haven't traveled there in a while. What's cost of living looking like? Like, groceries, going out to dinner maybe a couple times. What do we have to make?
So, I mean, I'm going to lie because I don't want everybody to go down there. No.
It's a lot.
No, it depends so much. It's same as like, honestly, like because my parents would come visit me and stuff sometimes. And my mom would say things like, oh, this is the same price as Ogden. Like some stuff, because it depends so much. Like you can go and get like a 5-course meal and you can pay a bunch of money, you can pay a bunch of rent, or you can get something like Tijuana now is like one of the most expensive cities in Mexico, which people wouldn't think that. They'd think like Cancun or something, which as well. But it's because San Diego is like so expensive that it's comparatively so many people just keep moving more and more south, and it's almost like this gentrification cycle, right? Like a mí no me alcanza vivir en San Diego. Now I'm living in, and that doesn't so it's just like people,
I'm next to San Diego.
Yeah, so
I'm down the street.
I'm San Diego adjacent. I mean, you can literally live in TJ and be like, I live in a suburb of San Diego, and it's true. I mean, you're not. It's like
literally, it's just like a fucking. It's weird because like when people think of like the border, they think of something big scary. I'm like, this shouldn't part where it's just a fence. Like it literally, I could see you over there and. It's weird. But going back to the cost of living.
I mean, where I'm at, I could literally walk and be in San Diego, and like I could walk to San Diego. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can find anything. Dude. You can find a room that you rent for $200. You can pay like $2,000 for an apartment if you want. It's just like how
what do you want?
What style of life are you trying to have? You know what I mean? And I do think the city, like, if you go to a place like Puebla, if you go to like some of those other cities are cheaper, like farther away from the border. If you're far from the border and if you're far from the ocean, it's going to be cheaper, like just generally speaking, right? But I've traveled around quite a bit, enough now to see that it just varies a lot. But if you go to like a rancho or like more places where there's not as many, where the whites haven't arrived yet, you can still
you don't see any white people. It's cheap.
The less whites you see, the cheaper it's going to be. It honestly is like, but yeah, it varies so much. Like I think things are generally speaking like cheaper, but it's like, okay, this is cheap compared to San Diego. It's maybe not cheap compared to like, it's probably cheap compared to Salt Lake, but like different suburbs and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same. It's just like depends what part of town you live in. So it's hard to like just give a general answer. But yeah, you can find like cheaper rent and stuff. It's just people are dumb because they're like, this is my budget. This is what I want to spend. And I talk to one person and this is what they do. And it's just like, do your research, man. Like go out and I don't know. So
yeah, like one thing that people say they're like with American dollars is a lot easier. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, because I mean, como yo tengo un tío, he works for Telmex, you know, and his salaries. Well, but this is like 10 years ago.
Sure.
His salary was a very good salary because he was making, I think it was like $700 every 2 weeks, which is around that time. Sure, it was like, you know, it was a good money for him. Like he was living good. Like they were living good. They never needed anything. So I'm like, what do you need to make to be living a good little life? You know, simple life.
Yeah.
So like my mom told me, because my mom, you know, wanted to leave down there for a while. And she said, I think if I had $1,000 coming in monthly off of my retirement, I'd be okay.
You would be okay.
She owns her house and everything.
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't have any, if you don't have any monthly expenses, like you don't got a mortgage, you don't have a car payment, anything, I think you'd be fine. I don't know how, like, if you're not going to be balling out, but you know, like, yeah, you can.
He ain't going to Cancun every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but
but she'd be, sure, you know, enough for groceries, enough for all that. You know, living.
Yeah, she can live. It's not like the extra stuff, like traveling, going.
Because here, bro, like I feel like $1,000 doesn't do shit.
No.
Like I feel like fuck, $1,000 is like we eat it fast.
Yes. But you know, I feel like, just with how the world is shrinking because of the methods of communication and like airfare being cheap and everything, every place is kind of the same now, dude. Like the price of living has gone up everywhere. It literally doesn't matter where you are. Whatever X costs now, whatever that cost 5 years ago, it's more everywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just comparatively. It's like, okay, if a gallon of gas used to cost, like, you know, I don't know, what is gas here, like $3.50 a gallon? Yeah. California, it's like $5.15, right? So it's like everything. And then I don't really know I don't really drive down there anymore. The traffic's too stressful. I can do it. Yeah. I can do it, but I just don't like to. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you could. It also depends what part of Mexico, because like the cities are going to be like Tijuana, Guadalajara, Mexico City, Cancun, and like the tourist places. All that's going to be more expensive. But if you're in like Durango, or if you're in Chihuahua, or like I had a layover once in Chihuahua, like in Ciudad de Chihuahua. Yeah. And I could tell, I was like, it's cheaper here. Like, you know, it's so, but I guess it just depends on what. Yeah,
because I think me and Teresa, we went in pre-COVID, before COVID even happened. We went down there, and I want to say in like 3 weeks that we were down there, probably spent $300. Okay. And this is us like, but we were also eating at like aunts' houses, but like, you know, having a meal here and there, puestecitos and shit, buying little groceries that we needed. I mean, I think we spent like $300. Yeah. You know, like it wasn't horrible. So then I'm like, but this is us on vacation. I'm like, I wonder what it's like living here. Yeah. So that's what I'm really curious of, is I just want to I want to see why one of my cousins that I know, he doesn't have a nice job. He's always traveling. So I'm like, why? What's
maybe
up
he's
with
got
that?
Another job that he didn't tell you about.
He's got a sugar daddy.
Yeah, dude, you never know, man. He could be working for some unsavory characters.
I have a couple of friends like that, and I'm like, driving a brand new truck.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that kind of stuff does happen too, and you're just like,
Do you get like the recruitment of like, hey, you wanna make some quick cash?
Dude, I had a couple. Somebody would tell me that they're like, if you're down here long enough, at some point it'll happen to you. And I was like, nah, dude, that's never gonna happen to me, right? But then sure enough, I was walking with a laundry basket, just talking on the phone. And it's my neighborhood, like, and where I live is actually kind of like known for not being like the safest place. But I live there, so I'm just like, I know, like, people know me. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I'm just walking in my neighborhood.
Like,
yeah, basically, yeah. I actually had this joke once that I was like, man, I saw the taco guy call somebody else weirdo, and I was like, I thought I was the weirdo. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, what's up with that?
Like, dude, yeah. He was cheating on me, you know?
You're
like,
comparing with the other guy.
Yeah,
like,
just like,
I'm the real weirdo.
I thought it was me, dude. But I'm walking, and these guys in like this gold van drive up. And they're like speaking to me in like English, and then I spoke to them in Spanish, and they basically told me, they're like, you want a job? And I was like, what kind of job? Because I kind of had my suspicions, but I was also like, there's people that do like legitimate jobs crossing the border, right? Like, I've even heard people like dulces, you get there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not assuming anything, right? Yeah. And then they were like, oh, well, yeah, it's people. And I was like, oh, just like that? And I was like, no, I'm good. They're like, you sure? You like, because honestly, like somebody like me, for them, is ideal. Like, I'm white, I speak good Spanish.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
over. It's like, hey, you smiled.
I'm there like, yeah, they're just like, well, we would love a guy like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was that once, and to be honest, I was freaked out for a few days after that, because I was like, did these dudes, like, have they been following me? Like, do they know where I live? You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I don't know, dude. Like, and then I talked to my one friend, and he was like, I think those kind of people, you live in a border area, people just driving around, they see white people like you, like, they see you speak Spanish, they're like, oh, we're just going to ask this guy.
Well, and a lot of it has to do, bro, is that even us, you know, like me being Mexican rooted and everything, I feel like when we're here, everybody talks this big game of, that wouldn't happen to me. I know how to talk to my people. Fuck no, bro. So when I went in pre-COVID, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm from here. I'm from Parral. People know my family. Yeah. They know who I am. Bro, like, I got pulled over, and I know the spiel, you know, of how it is. Yeah. Bro, my mind blanked. I was genuinely scared.
You mean the cop?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, no, pues que le vamos a tener que quitar la troca. I'm like, no, pero ¿cómo? And then I didn't know how to approach the money part. So so I was like, bro, like, I was nervous. I was like, what the fuck do I do, Teresa? And then she's like, well, what can we do? And I'm like, well, fuck, he's gonna take the truck. And then I finally like got my balls in my hands, and I'm like, pues cuánto me cobraría to, like, you know, pa que no se la lleve. And it was like,
and he was like, $500, that's all.
I was like, ooh, I felt great after that I said that. But it's like, you do get scared, because it's like,
and that's what they take advantage of. Yeah,
they
see you scared, and like,
train yourself to like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I know how to expect. I already got it ready for him. Yeah. But no, bro, when it really comes down to it, like, because you have that tia that says like, no, not everybody takes it. Like, what if they take you to jail? Yeah. And so you get scared. And you're like,
it's also like, who's going to like blink first? Yeah. You can call them. This is the other thing, is they take advantage of people, because they figure out, they always ask you, like, where do you live? You should always just be like, I live here. Yeah. Because then they know that you know, like, because people just make these assumptions that poor countries, like, there's no rule of law. Like, it's a wild west.
There is.
And it's like, there's judges, there's all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say there's not corruption, but let's be honest, there's corruption here too, dude. Like, we're just better at hiding
there's
it.
There's a lot of them, bro, that really don't fuck around. Like, los federales do not fuck around. I always tell people, I'm like, anybody else? Mordida. Federales, be careful, because they do not, some of them do not fuck around.
Yeah. You have to just fill out the person.
Yeah, you kind of feel them out, because there's some that will, like, they're dedicated to the country. Yeah. And they actually fucking hate foreigners. Yeah. Like, I tell this a lot, but a lot of people are like, I'm scared. What if, like, the cartel gets me? I'm like, you shouldn't be worried about the cartel, but just be worried about locals that don't like foreigners. Yeah. Because there's a lot of them that, you know, they're just tired of being portrayed to be something. But no, don't let that scare you. Mexico's a great place. Vayan para que gasten dinero. Like, especially like the beaches and everything, bro. Like, because we know a lot of people. A lot of them, you know, get scared. They're like, oh, well, what if we get kidnapped? I'm like, look, the cartel wants you to go spend money there. They want you to go see las tierras. They want you to create jobs. They want you to spend money.
If you get kidnapped, just Venmo me $300 immediately. No, I will make sure that you get taken care of.
Have your mom Venmo me too. Venmo me, and we'll get it taken care of.
Yeah, I promise.
Week later, they're like, "What happened?" Be like, "Venmo me again." I forgot.
Yeah, it's gonna need to be every day you don't pay. You know what? No, what?
Every day you don't pay. 25. I'm just kidding.
No, but I've had a few interesting. Like the other day, because like recently. I've been down there for a while, and I was like, oh, I didn't think things like this would still happen to me. Because I got, like, frisked by the cops the other day, and I was just walking home in my neighborhood, and there was this girl on the other side of the street, and she was walking, and she was, like, hysterical. I don't know if she was, like, on something, or I don't know what was going on with her, but, like, she was, like, hysteric, and then I was walking by, and they're like, hey, you, and I was like, me? Like, what do you? They're like, yeah, we're doing, like, random searches in the area. And this guy like pulled my wallet out and he's looking and I was like, man, joke's on you. I have no cash on me right now, right? Like, and then he's just like frisking me, whatever. But then when I got scared, was she was like, dice que te conoce. And I was like, oh, dang, dude, this woman, like random woman is just going to say like, make up things about me. And it's just, I've never seen this person before in my life, right? And it's just her word against my word. And I was like, I'm going to jail. I was literally in my head, I was like, I'm going to jail. I didn't do anything. I'm going to jail. And I was just like, no, I've never seen her before. And they're like, okay, you can go. And I was just like, man, like, it's just, you know, little stuff like that. You're like, I don't know, dude. Like, because I just wrong place, wrong time. That happens to anybody, you know?
Yeah, like we had this one thing where we were traveling down to, what is it? Fucking Mazatlan from Parral. Okay. So we drove all the way down. We went through Los Puentes and everything. But anyways, we seen this cop and he was following us behind us. And
you're just driving through Sinaloa. You don't care, man.
Yeah, no, three cars deep. All of a sudden, bro, and I have a brand new truck that I took down there. Fucking like, probably like a mile or two, they had un retén. Fucking pistols out and everything. And Teresa's like, oh my God, what's going on?
This was like the police retén? Or
un retén de la policía. And then I'm like, I told Teresa, I'm like, calm down. Like, they look scary, but it's going to be fine. Yeah. They just asked us, you know, where we're going. We told them Mazatlan. They seen it was family. And they're like, oh, yeah, you guys are good. They're like, sorry, it's just that we got reports that, you know, 3 trucks driving through here. And we just want to make sure that there wasn't any, like, contraband or anything coming into Sinaloa. And I'm like, no, we're just going to the beaches and that's it. And then, But, like, I tell a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends want to travel, like, buddies. And I'm like, just don't put yourself in the mix. You know, go to the club and then, you know, you start talking to somebody, you start asking for booger sugar, and then pretty soon you wake up in an ice bath.
Yeah, I don't know. People get on vacation and they just lose common sense. It's like, bro. Anything you wouldn't do here, don't do it there.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people want to go down there and be like, coca, and it's like, dude, you don't just go up to people and ask them for shit like that.
That's how you wake up and.
In the nice bath, in the nice ice bath, and it's not the nice ice bath that the athletes get into.
You mind your own business, and other people's business doesn't mind you. Like,
but tell them a little bit about the culture, how warm the people are. You know, going to labarrotes, and they start to get to know you, and then pretty soon they're like, "Oh, just pay me next week," and they have like little tabs, huh? Stores.
I owe actually $70,000. That's
the poor lady. She's going.
I'm never going back. Actually, that's actually why.
This is why I traveled here.
I'm a reverse refugee now too.
Do you ever take anything back to people? Like, have people asked you for like?
You know, like sometimes, but I forget honestly. And I have so many. Like, I have a PO box too, just like right at San Diego, and I try because people are like, "Oh, can you just get?" And I'm just like, "Look, I'm all for helping people, but like." I'm gonna forget, dude. And I have like,
hey, tráeme un Hershey bar.
Well. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. The only things that even like you need is that's cheaper is like electronics, like Apple phone, whatever, like anything they don't have to import because other stuff is cheaper anyway. So
yeah,
I don't know.
What's something that you missed about Utah? Where every time you come here, that you're like
Cafe Rio.
Ooh, okay.
No, but yeah, I actually all these little like all these little Mormon restaurants like Cafe Rio, Zao. What's the other one? All these like fake Mexican restaurants. I love that food. Like, I'm a sucker for that stuff. Zupas, all these like little mom and like dumb restaurants. I love that shit, man. I don't know that and like my 5 wives that I had here, but
all of them.
Yeah,
all the kids.
I missed them. Dude. I got like
my 5 wives.
I got 7 kids.
Hey, do people ask you if you're Mormon when you're in Mexico? They're like, "Oh, is Mormon?"
All the time. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like,
hey, when you see another white dude, how does it feel? You're like, hey, my brother.
No, dude, I run, dude. I'm like, fuck these white people.
They pass by in their bikes. They're like,
I always say I'm like malanchista al revés, dude. I see these people, I'm just like, no, it disgusts me.
Hey, do you ever? They're like, hey, you, me.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, dude, no hablo inglés. I do that, dude. I'll be walking on Revolucion and people are like, hey. $5 it, and I'm just like, no hablo inglés, and they're just like,
oh damn,
they get all offended. I just mess with people, dude.
Hey, what about? I know this is off topic, but what about Hong Kong?
What about it? It's in China, I think, right? Like it's in
China. It's close to you.
Hong Kong is it's a Chinese restaurant. That I've been told the chow mein is very good.
Yeah,
I've been told the buffet is reasonably priced.
Shit.
I people come from all over for the Chinese food. Yeah.
Great Chinese food there.
Yeah, I've heard some people don't like when their husbands go to get Chinese food. I don't know. I think that's a little racist.
I think a lot of men go to that place.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like
protein.
It's like the certain type of chicken and the
How far is that area from where you're from?
Everything is relative. Like, it's a very spread out city.
Yeah.
But as far as like the actual, I guess, like tourist areas it's all like within a few miles, like nothing that far.
So like Tijuana, is there like a downtown?
Yeah, there's like El Centro, which is it's just for like people's reference. Actually in a lot of ways it is kind of like Vegas. As far as, you know how there's like the strip?
Yeah.
It's obviously it's like nothing like Vegas, but so they have, like there's the downtown Vegas, like the old town kind of.
Yeah.
That's like the old town Vegas, downtown, that's like the TJ, like the old downtown, like where you have like the donkeys with like the zebra painted on, like everything that you're like, shot for $2, or like everything that you like seen in movies, that's there, right?
Oh, okay.
And then there's Zona Rio, which is like more like the strip. Like this is like the nicer downtown. This is where like the offices are. This is like the financial district kind of. This is like more the actual. This is where
people with money actually
live.
Like
that's the actual like nicer part of town, and like the hills and like the big houses and stuff. So that's kind of like the way that the city's set up. But then you have also like so many people have ended up in Tijuana from other parts of Mexico. You have like a Haitian community of migrants.
Oh,
you
shit.
have it's just like it's now the second biggest city in Mexico, like population wise.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like Mexico City than Tijuana. It's bigger than San Diego too. Everybody thinks it's like this little town. They haven't even done.
I didn't even think that.
They haven't done a census in I don't know, 5-10 years. They don't even know how many people live there, but it's like somewhere between 2 and 3 million people in the city.
I think Tijuana is like one of those cities where like I don't care who you are, but like everybody knows Tijuana.
Exactly.
Everybody knows what Vegas is and Tijuana.
Yeah.
So like
I love that. Honestly, I love Tijuana because first of all, it's like, what are you trying? The only thing that if you're like, what are you trying to do? Like, you can do it there. You know, like there's a beach. The beach is like Playas is not nice, but you go farther south, there's nicer beaches. You want good food? There's like amazing food. You want good wine? They have Valle de Guadalupe. You're trying to do like craft beer. They have it's like literally like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to do? You can do it there. And it's just, I don't know. Actually, my like dream, like my really what I want to do is I want to do like I want to write a show. And about like my life in Tijuana. You know how like comedians have like Seinfeld or like all these kind of shows that it's just like, it's like kind of based on your life and then you play yourself. And like a lot of comedians have done that. That's like my real like dream. And I think that the reason that there's an audience for it is because of what you said. Because everybody like, I even do this in other parts of because it's not just like here where you're like Hong Kong. So in other parts of Mexico too. I'll go to do a show in Mexico City and I'm like, ¿qué opinan cuando digo Tijuana? Y todos Hong Kong, drogas. So everybody has, you know, like it's like all these misconceptions. It's not just here, dude. It's everywhere. So it's like, and then people are like, is it dangerous? It's like, yes. Is it safe? Yes. It's like all these things can also be true. Yeah. And that's why I'm fascinated by it because it's just like, there's no place, there's only one place that I've been that's like it, no para ponerme muy mamón, but I lived in Beirut in Lebanon for a year in the Middle East. And it's fuck? I'm actually in the CIA. This place is being,
hey, throwing the mix.
Yeah, dude. I actually get,
what the
sometimes
fuck?
people are like,
from Lebanon?
down there, they're like, this guy's got to be like DEA or something.
Yeah, straight up, like, bro. Tapping in their phones.
Yeah. I'm actually NSA. This is all. This place is gonna be actually cleaned up here in an hour or two. No, but it's just those are the two places I compare because it's the two places I've been where it's just like anything goes, like whatever you're trying, like because Beirut is like you see people like it's like a Muslim and a Christian country, so you'll see people like fully covered, like very conservative, next to a girl in like a mini skirt and like a bikini top, and it's just like everything goes. It's like you do you, like very much like that, and Tijuana's like that too. Like there's literally a Catholic church next to like a huge gay bar. Everything is just like you do you. You know what I mean? Like and it's I love that. It is just very much like, hey, you do you. I'm just like, you know, live and let live very much. So
that's fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you feel like Tijuana's in long term for you? Like to stay there for a while?
I keep toying with the idea of moving to Mexico City, like just because I feel like that's really like where you go if you really want to do stand up. And like really, it's like the next step kind of. Yeah. But I think that like Mexico in general could be long term for me because I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't want to be the whole like I'm done with the US, but like if it was just up to me, like if I didn't have any friends or family here, I wouldn't come here. You know, like
bro.
I just see the way that like the world's going and stuff right now, and I'm like,
you know, it's crazy, bro. That's coming from somebody that's not even like born there.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I've always thought like you, bro. Like I've always wanted to go back but it's just like, nah, I have kids here.
Sure.
And it's like I want to take them, but I also want to be stable.
Yeah.
Like if hypothetically, right, my long-term goal, like that's why I was trying to kind of ease into it, is if this was to pay me, then yeah, I'd fucking rent it from over there. I could come down here, do a couple episodes, and I'm back.
Yeah.
And we can travel to Cancun. We can travel anywhere.
Yeah.
We'd have so much fun, bro.
But then once this blows up, you'll just have Blockbuster sue you.
Yeah,
so then you'll be
literally. That's why the green one. Hey, switch.
That's why
the gastatelo so long.
Honestly, I always have that like little thing too. I'm like, all this is gonna happen. You're finally gonna make it. You're gonna have like Netflix special or something. And then some ex-girlfriend that you pissed off is gonna make up some shit about you. And then it's just like,
comes back.
Just made it.
They go back into business and they leave me on the streets.
It was exactly. They'll just like they take this and then it just becomes a Blockbuster podcast. No, I had this.
Hey, you never know. What if they offer me something? They're like, hey, I like you. I like your vision, man.
The way you talk about Blockbuster is the same way you talk about the cartel, dude. Like maybe this is this big.
Hey, they approach me.
Put on the tinfoil hat.
They come in a van with the Blockbuster. They're like, hey, you want a job?
The last Blockbuster, dude. Just throwing VHSs at you. Open the code.
Like, what are you looking for?
All the episodes of Free Willy.
Hey, they're like, I'm looking for El Hijo de Utah.
You trying to get some Ghostbusters, man? You want some?
So one idea that I had, bro, and I'm actually gonna release it on this episode just because of you, is so I'm getting old VHS cassettes from Blockbuster.
Okay.
Like that people are selling on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And the episodes that mean a lot to me, which this is one of them, bro.
Oh dang.
I'm gonna have you guys like on a cassette stand right here, and it's gonna have like the No Pasa Nada logo in the front, like
wow, that's cool.
like when you went and rented movies, but it'll be your guys' episodes. Okay. The ones that I feel like mean the most.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna lie, the episode before this, that's my homie Art,
and he's like, fuck that guy, dude.
I told him, I'm like, hey, your episode doesn't matter, bro. I got someone else coming in. No, I just thought it was really cool, bro, that like, you know, you as a person, and especially that you're in Mexico, you came out here. I just think it's so interesting, bro. This is an episode I'm going to talk about for a while.
Damn, man. Well, anytime you want to come down, I'll show you around, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely do want to go down, bro. Like, especially Tijuana, because I have a friend of mine that goes to Rosarito a lot, and he takes his family. And I didn't know it was that beautiful down there. I didn't know that like Tijuana really had it like that.
Yeah. But Rosarito is like the gringo place. Go a little bit farther south and it's like Ensenada. I love Ensenada. Have you been down there?
So I want to go, bro. This is how I like to do it. I like to go where the locals go.
Yeah.
I like to really get to know the place for what it is. I want to go eat like some good food. I want to go,
I'll take you to the barrio then, dude.
I want to go to
I'll take you to the place where I'm like, don't bring your phone here. Don't bring it. It's just like, this guy said he wanted to go where the locals go. So you'll be riding the calafia then. I'll get you robbed just so the local experience.
They're like, oh, fuck yeah, I got robbed last night. It was great.
It was amazing, dude. I feel like I'm finally initiated.
Be like, Robin, man. I go down the road, be like, yo tengo 500 pesos. ¿Quién los quiere?
I had a friend that I used to work in
brand new Jordans.
I used to work in Catholic Community Services here in Salt Lake in refugee resettlement, and I had friends from Iraq, and I was always telling, because I always like to go to places that, like, I've been to Afghanistan, dude. I go to places that people are like, yeah, don't go there, and I'm like, okay, we'll see.
I'll go there now.
Yeah, so I would go, like, actually, I have this Afghanistan like passport or the stamp still in my passport, and I'll cross the border, and people will be like, thank you for your service, and I'm like, I've never been in the military, dude. Like, I don't.
They're like, this guy's been everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, all right, you're welcome. You know, I do what I can.
I do what I can.
But no, I used to have these guys would joke with me because they were from Baghdad, and they were like, "Man, you're trying to go to Baghdad." They're like, "This guy's like life goal is just to get kidnapped." They're like, "This guy's whole thing is like, I'm gonna have to tell somebody to do it so they can finally like calm down." Like he's just going on this worldwide tour.
I could see you like being in a movie, and they're like, "Hey, bro, he was on the podcast, and then he went missing."
I have a joke that a few people have told me to stop saying, and it's a joke about the cartel. And it's like it's not that heavy because this is my understanding. And like, if I'm wrong, I guess I'll learn real quick. But basically, if you're not mentioning like specific names, if you're not like mentioning specific groups, you know, if you're making like generalized jokes, I think you're okay. Like, because the only way that people get mad is when you're talking about me, you're talking about this, then you got a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I kind of like, and it's just like, okay, I'm not going to mix up with that. But I have a joke that's kind of like general, but it's pretty like I just did it in a show last week, and I had just written some new parts into it, and it bombed so bad, but I was like, I love this, dude. I don't want to stop saying this. Basically the premise of it is just like I basically say that like, you guys like notice what happened in Afghanistan, basically like a group, like the Taliban took like control of the country, like a group that's not the government, right? Like, and I'm like, man, that must really suck. Like, kind of like what happened with the guys with the cartel, right? And like, people, but like, you have to have the right audience. Like, if you have an audience, like, I've said that joke and it's killed, and I've said that joke and I'm like, I'm gonna die. They're
like
I'm literally, I'm literally.
They turn off the light. They're like,
I'm like, I might not make it out of here, but like, whatever. But then I've kept going, and it basically is like. It's just like, then just like basically like the Olympics of like organized crime, because I'm like Hamas is going against like the cartel, and then like they're going against ISIS, and then but the way I end the joke is like then they have to go against the biggest like terrorist group in the world, like the United States government. Right? Like, yeah. So it's like, I don't know, it's done well, but I'm like working on it. But yeah,
the funny thing about like, because ever since you said I went to Afghanistan, bro, like it's weird how out of the whole world, right? Like Afghanistan is known, like Baghdad, Afghanistan, the Middle East is always known to like, they're like scary, right?
Yeah,
everybody in America thinks that that's scary, but they also think like cartel Mexico's scary. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of weird in a sense, bro. We're very similar to like the Middle Easterns.
Honestly,
we look the same.
Even like culturally,
we even like the like dance, like, and they love the party. We like the party. Yeah. We got music. They love to play music. It's like imagine if we merged.
Every Lebanese person, that could even, they just end up teaming up, right? They're just like, actually, we're just gonna team up.
Imagine the Taliban as cartel members. Oh my gosh.
They're probably there's a lot. You get poppy in Afghanistan. I wouldn't be surprised if there's already something
like
going on.
The music about the cartel and everything, they talk a lot about like Talibans and like the Middle East, like because like dude, like AK-47s, fucking Mexicans love AK-47s. You know what I mean? Like they love bazookas, they love all that shit.
This podcast is for informational purposes only. I do not condone anything.
But it's so fucking.
This is actually not even me. This is an AI clone of me.
It's so funny because like everything when you were saying that, I was just thinking about like some Taliban partying with us, and I'm like, that'd be a fun party.
I mean, probably not, but no, I mean, like outside of the criminal groups, like in all seriousness, the cultures are similar, dude. Yeah. Like every Lebanese person that I've ever known that's gone to Mexico, and every Mexican person I've ever known that's gone to Lebanon, they love it because it's like the same. There's a lot of similarities between Middle Eastern cultures and between Latino cultures.
I've always said that they like because they always say like Germans, Russians are very similar to like Americans, right? Because they're all white skinned, they similar. I've always said that the Middle East looks like us. Okay. Like the Middle East, like we're very similar. Like honestly, a lot of Middle Easterns look Mexican.
You could be an Ahmed.
Yeah, like Allahu Akbar. Let's kidding. Like I love their culture, bro. I love everything about it. I don't know if I could go out there.
You could.
I'm scared,
it's the hype.
Bro.
It's the same hype, dude.
I'm scared.
It's the same propaganda that's like, okay, this is actually real. Is when I was in Lebanon, I got in. Somebody was just like. I don't know, because I actually lived in the city, but I lived in like the suburbs. There was like a really like safe part, like a very like almost like a small town within a city that like, because you recognize people. So somebody just gave me a ride once. They're like, oh, you going to the store, I'll give you a ride. And they're like, oh, you're from the US? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, man, I can't go to the US. I'm too afraid to go to the US. And I was like, what?
Shit.
And they're like, yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to be at a mall and somebody's just going to shoot me. Right? Like it's the same.
Dude,
it's the same
crazy.
propaganda. And I've had people in Mexico tell me
you
that
need
too.
to do like stuff with that, bro. You need to like. Yeah. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's the same. It's because that's what I'm telling you. And like all that I've traveled, dude, it's almost been a little bit disappointing because people are just people everywhere you go. Yeah. Honestly, people want the same thing. Yeah, because people just trying to live, hang out. Like
it's funny because in my head, I'm like, I could probably go to Germany. I could probably go to Russia. I could probably go over there. But when it comes to the Middle East, I'm scared. Like that, I will probably not go.
Well, I mean,
unless I knew somebody that went.
There's another thing is like the Middle East. There's like, where are you going in the Middle East? It's like, where are you going in Mexico? Are you going to Culiacan right now? Or are you going to Mexico City? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's the same thing. Because if you're going to like Lebanon, if you're going to like Gaza right now, you might not be doing too well. But like, if you go into, I don't know, Dubai, like you probably just wouldn't make it because you can't afford it. But but it's like it's not that it's not safe.
I'm broke.
Yeah, they're just laughing at you because you're broke.
It's like he's got no car.
He doesn't have a Ferrari, dude. Let's just
Look, he showed up in a Toyota.
But I mean, I've been to Egypt. I've been to Morocco. I've been to Jordan. Like Jordan is like Utah, dude. It's boring as hell.
Really?
No, just kidding. Yeah, Jordan is almost like the Switzerland of that area, like because they're just I don't know. It's not.
Fancy.
Sorry to any like Jordanians watching this.
What about? I heard
boring.
Egypt's not like. Well, I've seen. I haven't heard. I've seen videos that were like Egypt. Yeah, it's the pyramids, but it's not really what people think.
I mean, what do people think? Other than
People think that it's just like the pyramid in the desert.
So Cairo is huge. First of all. Like, the city of Cairo is huge.
And they don't realize that the city is actually right next to the pyramids, right?
Yeah. Honestly, there's like a KFC right by the pyramids, dude. It's really. I was hella disappointed.
So it's not how they make it seem in movies where it's like,
yeah, like you don't ride a camel out there, dude. You're just taking like a 95 Camry. Yeah.
It's super far. People think it's like super far, huh?
It's actually, I was disappointed. I went to the pyramids. I was like, this is it.
Like, you looked at it, you're like,
I was eating, like, I was like, give me another chicken wing, dude. Like, I was sitting over there, like, eating at a KFC, eating my mac and cheese.
You're just looking out the window and be like, whoa.
Also, it was the most, like, I mean, I'm used to this, but the aggressiveness of the people trying to sell you shit, it was next level, dude. You almost can't even enjoy it. It's like, oh, get on this camel. You get on this camel for free. I'll just let you get on the camel. You get on the camel, you get down. Okay, that's going to be 10 pounds. Okay, and then they'll follow you around for the whole time. It's just like, it's next level of like trying to sell you stuff. You literally have to like just go and be like, just don't speak. Maybe put in some earphones or something.
I need to go to the mall more than where they shine the shoes and just keep passing by and train myself to ignore
nothing
them.
could train you for this, dude.
Those guys are almost grabbing their shoe.
It's like, no, it's next level. And it is, I'm not joking. There was a KFC, like literally you could see the pyramids from where the KFC was at. And like, yeah, it's because you go there, you think it's going to be all like this pristine and like, yeah, you think you're going to ride a magic carpet and just get like dropped off there in the top. I mean, I think you can. There's like probably like an Airbnb experience or something, right? Like ride a camel in. I'm sure you can do that. But they just had like a rave at the pyramids, dude. Like I don't know. It's not, things are like, the way that we are taught about the world is like, it's either like romanticized or it's like dangerous. It's like, right? It's like Paris, Tijuana. It's like, why would I'm only going to go to Egypt for like I would think, I didn't actually go, I only made it to go to Cairo, but like the other parts of Egypt, like Luxor, and like, I would think some of that stuff is like even better because there's less tourists and there's less like, a lot of times the like parts that were like, oh, you got to go here, like you got to go to Eiffel Tower, or like, I'm sure there's other parts of France that is way more beautiful than Paris. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
one thing I've seen a lot of videos on is like a lot of people, because everybody wants to go to France because of the Eiffel Tower and it's so romantic. And they're like, one thing you got to prepare for when you go there, and like that's what kind of turned us off. Is they're like, the food isn't that great if you're American, because everybody thinks France, oh, pizza, pasta. No, that's Italy. Yeah, I'm like, this is snails, caviar, all that shit. And I'm like,
it's really just a lot of cheese, dude. Yeah, a lot of cheese and a lot of desserts.
Yeah, I'm just like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm like, okay.
I love France, though, dude. They're just a bunch of haters. I respect the hell out of them for that, dude.
How is it?
I mean, now I'm just making I was in France for a couple months learning French. I like it because they're just, I don't know, they're not, this is kind of just Europeans in general, I feel like. They're not like outwardly friendly like the U.S. Like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? But you don't actually care how I'm doing. You're just being polite, right? And like, if you're in their circle, and once you're in, you're in. But like, if they don't know you, they don't care about you. Like, they'll bump into you to the subway. They don't say excuse me. Like, it's just very like they're in their own kind of like bubbles, whatever. But what I like about France is that they're sitting out in cafes. Like they also don't give a shit about work, dude. They're just like, they're collecting the paychecks. They're living for like, okay, after work, we're all gonna go get drinks, and like they have like 3-hour lunches, and I just love how they don't care, dude. They're always protesting. They don't care.
They're always protesting.
Yeah, they're always
like,
protesting shit.
Fuck,
they don't care.
We're late to the protest.
Yeah, they don't care. They just don't care. They're like just a bunch of haters, and they're talking shit up people. They don't care, and I respect that. Actually, one of my another dream of mine, I would love to do like a set in Paris in French. I would be like, that's like a bucket list thing for me too. So.
Damn, bro. Hey, you're like the Dos Equis guy. The most
I love that guy,
the most
dude.
interesting
That's
guy in the
nicest
world.
Thing anyone's ever said.
You're so
to me,
fucking
dude.
interesting, bro. You got so much shit.
I don't always drink beer.
Like when I do,
I actually would drink joke at him for a while, just hoping to embody him. You know, like I was just like, if I drink enough of this, our bloods will just fuse, and I will just become him.
You're like, I'm the most interesting.
Well, actually, because those commercials were coming out when I was like 21, right? And so I was just like, when I would go to the bar the first time, I was like, I want a Dos Equis. I don't know. I just saw the commercials.
Let me get the
Dos
Equis, please.
It worked on me. 100%.
You look around, you're like, is he coming?
Yeah. On my like 22nd birthday, dude, people were like, I don't know what to bring, and people would just bring 6 packs of Dos Equis. Dude, I was like, I just hope I just hope I could be that guy one day, dude.
I'll be like, I'm morphing into him.
What happened to him? They don't have him anymore.
I don't know.
Right?
Fucking Dos Equis fucking...
Oh, shit.
Dos Equis let him go.
I forgot to turn my phone off.
Like, let me
That's actually a call. They're like, you got to stop.
Like,
that's my lawyer.
Yeah, they're like ya párele tus chingaderas.
Yeah. That's my lawyer. I think the FBI's outside now, actually.
He's already arrested out there.
Yeah, we go out and the door's just being broke down.
Bro, you are super interesting, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Damn, like, I want to see, like, fucking dive into more of your life. Like, do you do vlogs or anything?
I've been told I should do that. Right now, I'm just really trying to, like, I mean, stand-up is, like, what I'm trying to do right now. It's, like, it's almost, I've actually even thought, because people have told me before, like, you're more, like, situationally funny or, like, more, like, maybe that's not, like, the main avenue for you. And I'm just, like, it's almost like a challenge at this point. Like, I'm just, like, I gotta, like, not even, like, make it. I need, like, I don't know, my metrics, I want to do that show. Like, that's really something I want to do. My kind of, like, short-term plan, actually, is I want to, like, keep kind of growing my social media a little bit, keep growing that, and then using that to get to the point where people, like not know me, like, oh, my God, you're that guy, but, like, kind of, like, que me topan, you know? Like, oh, I've seen this guy, I watched a clip of his, whatever. And then I want to use that clout to get into rooms to where I can actually, because I have, like, 20% of that show written already. And I want to, like, that's really, like, my dream is to, like, do that show. Because I have all these ideas in my head. I have, like, this is what the first scene is going to look like. And I want to, like, touch on a lot of, like, modern day thing. Like, I want to talk about remote work. I want to talk about migration. I want to talk about gentrification. I want to talk about all these serious topics, but, like, through a comedic lens. You know what I mean? That's kind of, like, that's what my, like, real, I guess, like, dream is right now.
I fucking love that,
and
dude.
That's what I'm trying to do. And I did, like, maybe a few vlogs, or I don't know. I think a lot of times I'm like, I'm not doing as much as I could be doing, but I'm always just, like, so busy too that I'm like, what more do you want me to do? Like, you know,
fuck, what else do you guys want? I traffic women during the day and kids at night, and then I fucking stand up for you guys.
It's
like,
the other way around, dude. You gotta just get it all wrong.
Damn, bro, but no, like, I'm excited for you guys and whatever you guys are doing, and whether you take the route of doing vlogs or no vlogs. I would love to see at least one a month, bro. Okay. I just want to see your life. I want to see your life in Tijuana, and I want to see, like, what you're doing, what you're eating, all these situations that you come across. Even if it's just like a minute reel on TikTok, bro, or something. I think it's just super cool.
You know how I started getting, like, a little bit of, like, followers and stuff? Was I started doing these videos. This is what I actually got kind of known for. Is, like, I did these videos of the literal translations. I don't know if you've seen any of them, but it was like if Americans talk like Mexican, and it was just like, I walk worthing pure dick, cousin, and, like, just, like, stuff like that. And people would, like, I had a couple people just, like, yell at me in the street or something, like, just, hey, you're that guy, like. But it was always funny to me, and it started because one of my friends was like, he was always trying to hit on girls, but he didn't speak Spanish. Yeah. And so he would, like, get these texts, and he was always like, translate this for me. Like, and I would read it, but I would translate it, like, literally, like, word for word, because I thought it was funnier. It sounded, like, super poetic and stuff. Yeah. So then we actually started just being like, what if we did this, like... So I also want to incorporate that into the show as well. I have all these, like, little... I don't know, I just have all these thoughts, and I'm like, I got to condense it and compress it all into... They
say that when people go mad with ideas, it's because they're very talented. Mm. You know, if you don't have ideas splurging out of your head and stuff, it's because maybe that isn't for you. Hmm. But I could tell that you got a lot of talent.
I had almost like a, I don't want to say like an awakening, but it sounds too dramatic. I did the whole, like, I did my master's at University of Utah. I did the whole, like, get a real job. You know, I, like, did all this stuff because it's, like, what I'm supposed to do. And then around COVID, actually, is when I started doing more stand-up, because I grew up as a kid as, like, a musician. I was playing piano. I was in orchestra when I was a kid, like, and I had that, like, creative side, but I almost, like, suppressed it a little bit just to, like, oh, you got to get a real job, you got to get an office job, you got to grow up, you know what I mean? And then I started doing stand up, and it was like, oh, this is that, like, side of me that I tried to repress, but, like, this is who I really am. You know what I mean? Or, like, this is. So I think what I would like to do, because I've always worked professionally in, like, nonprofits, like charity, that kind of stuff. I think what I would eventually like to get to is where I'm living off of my art, off of my comedy, and then I'm doing that stuff on, like, the volunteer base. Because we're, like, right now it's kind of flipped, right? Yeah. But I've started, like, this is actually hella funny too. I have a lot of subscribers on YouTube. I mean, like, a lot. Like, I have like 6,400 maybe or something. And I got it because I made these memes of AMLO. like a meme. Like I just made these jokes about these videos, and it was like POV tu compa, no, like, and it was just speeches that he made, and it was like funny. But I had all these old people following me now. Because they're all just like, Viva AMLO, Viva la transformación. And it's like, they don't understand what a meme is. And they all just started following me. So now I'm just like using it to my advantage. I'm just like putting all AMLO memes like every day. So I don't know. You got to just do what you can. But what are you trying to do? Like, what's your end game?
My vision with No Pasa Nada, bro, we started it in November last year.
Okay.
And it started really because I've always wanted to do a podcast. And I love talking to people, love getting to know people.
Okay.
And if you don't do it today, you'll never do it tomorrow, bro.
Okay.
And I had a 6-figure business, landscaping, had the perfect house, cars, employees, everything. And in 2024, I lost it all, bro. I went bankrupt. I, have 2 kids, living with the in-laws, lost everything, went bankrupt completely. And, so
Just from like some like bad business decisions?
Yeah, okay. Bro, bad business decisions. I got like basically hit with a lawsuit, and then the state got involved, and they got criminal charges on me.
Oh, damn.
So then, bro, like I've never been in trouble. I never thought anything like that would happen. I never pictured myself in my 30s, something like that happening where I just...
reiterating, this is not me. I'm just AI. I was never actually... Since I've learned he's a criminal, I'm not... No, I'm just fucking...
So like I worked so hard to get to the goal. And I had the goal, and then I lost it overnight. So no pasa nada, nothing will happen, bro. And you could lose it yesterday, but it doesn't mean you can't regain it tomorrow. So I started it as just we're gonna do episodes, interviewing people, local talent, because everybody's got a story.
I saw most of the people you were having was like local artists, like some rappers and like some other. That's my big thing now is I just try to support other people trying to do what they like, art, and you know what I mean?
That's the biggest thing, bro, is I was like, you know what? A lot of these guys are really talented, or a lot of them haven't found their true talent. I need to get them on here so we can grow together and people can know about them more. And I want eventually, bro, when this really blows up, is I want people to network within my network, which, I could have somebody that, I don't know, raps in fucking in Dubai, hit me up and say, hey, bro, I really like that one guy that was on your episode. I need him as a feature. I need him to fly out here. Bro, like the things are endless. Like I have construction companies that, are looking for employees. Maybe these guys want to work there. Maybe they want to hire somebody in this construction company. So I'm bringing a whole community together that I feel like we had a big void here in Utah, bro.
Okay.
There's not really anybody out here really doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
There's a couple podcasts just kind of talking, but they're just talking.
Salt Lake is growing too as well. Yeah. It's growing. And I feel like we're on the same wavelength because I've recently started to kind of get more involved with other creative people outside of just comedy. Like there's some like reggaetoneros doing stuff there. And I'm always just like, I just like art, man. Like I like poetry. I just like seeing people do music, art, and just doing what they actually like to do as well. I think that the way that our society has worked is like we've almost minimized the importance of art. And like, it's like, yeah, that might be fun, dude. But like, when have you ever had any fun and you're not listening to music? Or when have you ever, you know what I mean? Like laughing, like what you said, it's like, that's the stuff that really makes you human. Like all the other stuff, like just working, or like animals do that. You know what I mean? Like ants are lifting stuff and putting it, not to like minimize work at all, but it's like, this is the stuff that everybody has that.
Everybody needs to work because they need to provide.
Yeah.
But outside of that, everybody's got a hobby and everybody's got a skill and everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everybody needs to be heard. And I don't never go off of people's followers or anything. Like I've had, my previous guy who had like 100 followers on Instagram, but his engagement levels, bro, were huge. Like people were supporting him, people were asking for him. And it's like, it's really cool and interesting to see how everybody moves, how everybody tells their story. And then I kind of see, I'm learning, bro. I was never, book smart to go to college or anything, but I'm learning off of just having people and networking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smart people, bro, and smart in different matters,
Yeah.
But yeah.
One of my favorite Mexican sayings too is El Sol Sale para Todos.
Yeah, we just said that earlier.
I feel like what you're saying, there's so much, and this is even like a really like hallmark American thing too, is this competitiveness, right? Like, it's like, oh, if my podcast is doing good, then like, it's like I'm going against you. It's like, why is our natural thing to be like, there's room for everybody is what I'm saying. Like, it's not like if I'm doing good at comedy like that, like I have to do it at your expense, or you know what I mean? Like, and that mindset permeates so many things.
We just
like,
talked about it in the previous episode, bro. El sol sale para todos, porque I was like, bro, I just want to root for everybody and I want to grow with it.
Yeah.
I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to, from a year from now, and just like, maybe I won't grow with you, but you can look back and be like, oh, I remember when I was in his podcast.
Yeah.
Or maybe I grow and maybe I'm past you, or maybe we're on the same. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I just want to outreach with people and I want to get the voice out there. And I'm just chasing my goal just like you guys are chasing yours. You know, like my goal might be not music or stand-up comedy, but, you know, this is what I think I was destined to do.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, I just feel like I tried it out and people liked it. And then, you know, I just got
There's
hooked.
certain things that, and I've been trying to work on this because I felt like I did a lot for a lot of my life. I did like, this is what you're supposed to do, or this is what's expected of you. And then I've been trying more like what you said about how this is what, like, I don't even know. I can't explain it. This is what I'm supposed to do. Or like, there's this way that you're like this feeling in your gut, or you have to like listen to that, you know, like you can't even, you don't have to explain it. It's like, it's like, I actually, when you were talking about your struggles, so I joke about this, so it's like known. I'm a recovering gambling addict. I was doing like all the sports betting and stuff. I was doing that crazy. Like the levels, I was betting with like as if I was a rich person, but I wasn't a rich person, right? And so I'm in recovery from that. Like some people are in alcohol recovery, whatever. And like for me, the high that I would get from putting a bunch of money on a game or something, the only thing that I can like recall is if I have a set and I just killed it in that set and I get off the stage. That's the only. It's like chasing that, but it's like a healthy way of getting it, right? It's like you can get certain highs from like good things, like exercising or whatever, and then it's like, or you can do it from, I don't know, doing your snow in Colombia or whatever. It's like, you know, but it's like it's chasing like the productive and healthy ways of doing it. That's what your brain like actually, or your body's like actually wants. But we have like unhealthy ways to like it's a means to an end when it's like really it's like the journey and that getting there. That's what it's really like.
Yeah, and everybody has like everybody commits mistakes. Everybody commits flaws. Everybody has misjudgment. Like the reason I lost all that, bro, is just, you know, myself, bro. I just lost myself. I've always been very clean, very organized and everything. And I just started losing myself. And, you know, I want to say I recovered from that, and I was a recovering person recently. And that's why this year, bro, like the reason I'm going all in on my podcast, work, recovering everything that I lost is because I'm going off of 3 words: love, faith, family. I me acerqué más a Dios, güey. I'm a Catholic. You know, I go to church every Sunday. I'm not perfect, but I put my faith in him. I have faith in what I'm doing, and I love my family, bro. Like I have 2 daughters, one that's 2, one that's 1, my wife, and I just want to put everything and work really hard to get us back to where we were.
But you were talking about your girlfriend earlier, so which one is this?
Yeah, I call her my wife. We've been together for...
Este güey está hablando de su amante.
Está hablando del amante. No, so me and my girl, bro, we've been together for 13 years. We're not legally married.
So you're like common... I get it,
Yeah, so we're common law marriage. I like to make it very clear that that's my wife, because there's a lot of female supporters that might be like, hey, I wonder if he's single. So I'm like, oh, yo estoy taken. Yo estoy taken. So yeah, no, and then that's another thing, bro. Being in the space of, you know, social media, there's a lot of temptations. There's a lot of, it seems like it'd be very easy to just go and do something stupid, but it's like, I'm not willing to risk my family or lose my family over something like that. So, oh shit, now it's my turn.
She's calling you.
Now it's my mom.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah. Be like, Mom, don't be calling me. I'm on the podcast. No, that's the FBI agent. She's like, are you done with him? Yes, I am. But another way, like I wanted to thank you one more time for coming on the show.
Yeah, man.
And then I wanted to you tell them where they can find you.
Yeah. So I guess the one I'm on YouTube, Challenge Jordana Comedy. Instagram is Hijo de Utah. That's probably the one I have the most following on. It's Hijo_de_Utah_. Obviously a play on words there. And yeah, no, if anybody wants to come to Tijuana, for you, my friend, I'm at a good price. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just trying to do what I can to support artists in this. You know, it's interesting because like this isn't home for me anymore, but it still is kind of, you know, so it's cool for me to come back and like make these connections. So yeah, I'll be I'll be around ready to defend you once Blockbuster comes with the lawsuit. So
we'll be like, hey, yeah, this logo's mine. I'll be like, I took your logo.
They should be thanking you for people.
Exactly.
The only way younger people are going to remember Blockbuster, dude.
Well, a lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, los billetitos. It's like, I'm like, yeah, it's 2 tickets, one for you and one for your partner.
These Gen Z kids, dude, they don't know what a VHS is.
None of these guys know. I'm like, hey, you know Blockbuster? They're like, what's that? And I'm like, never mind. I'm gonna evolve and then I'm gonna take red boxes because they're going bankrupt slowly, too. Okay,
it's a matter bankrupt. Of time.
So I'm gonna take red boxes.
In like 10 years, you can be Netflix. So,
yeah, exactly. No, pero hey, mi gente, you guys asked for the episodes. Here they are. I want to thank him one more time. You know, like in all reality, he didn't need to come on here. He did. You know, I'm pretty sure he had other things he could have done, but I just wanted to take a moment to thank him for coming on the show. You know, he had hit me up and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be in town this time. Can we make it work? I'm like, dude, I can make it work. We'll make something work because I definitely wanted him on the show. Pero, is there anything else you want to address to them? Or
that's going to be $500 that I'm going to charge for this podcast.
Hey,
I take crypto, check, cash.
Hey, one more question. Do they have Venmo down there?
No. I've actually been saying that if somebody would like create a Venmo there, se van a hacer ricos.
So like, ¿cómo te pagan like virtually?
There's an app that like, because you know there's still people here that be using like Western Union and stuff. There's an app now that's called Remitly that so I can like send money to a Mexican bank account from my US bank account, and it charges you like a couple of dollars, but it's still like, so it's like a Venmo, but not as. But I've always said that, dude. I was like, if somebody made like the Mexican equivalent of Venmo.
Oh, bro.
If I was a developer, I don't know. Maybe there's your idea. Yeah.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know, but.
Pero no, mi gente, pues, you know, like another episode down, like I mentioned. I know you guys are enjoying these. I know I went missing for a while, like I mentioned before, but hey, no more. Nos llevaron a Lebanon, pero ya volví a la verga. They no me aguantaron. They brought me back. They're like, hey, take this fool back. Pero, mi gente, I need to stand up for this porque, you know, things are going to get fucking good. Serious. Look, I wanted to send a quick shout out to Outcome Productions. If you want to film a music video, un video porno, una película.
We're actually doing that after this. So he didn't know. That was the arrangement.
En Tijuana. Pero si quieren grabar algo, ocupan fotografía, you guys are shooting some reels for your business or, you know, for personal pages, hit up Outcome Productions.
Si están buscando droga.
Yeah, droga, hit up him. No droga a mí. No, los invito acá a Outcome Productions. Si quieren hacer un podcast aquí, tener su logotipo acá chingón y poner sus monos acá de peluche, vengan a Outcome Productions. Look, right now, we have sponsors for No Pasa Nada, Gástatelo. Right now, mira, tengo 1, 2, 3 lugares aquí para some sponsors. Hit me up, No Pasa Nada Podcast MX on Instagram, No Pasa Nada Podcast MX at Gmail. Si quieren ser algo más formal acá, profesional, mandarme un offer, and then I'll be like, let me look at it with my team. Nah, decline the offer. Mira, mi gente, I had fun doing this episode. We're going to continue killing it. 2025 to the top, ya se la saben. Y como dice Tato, peace.